Welcome to RVU, an RV insider podcast where I'll interview industry experts, icons, and influencers. Class is in session for all things RV, and I'm your host, Angie Morrell. Today, I am so lucky to have Ken Walters with me, President and CEO of Jayco and Entegra, or how does that official title go?
Jayco Family of Companies. So Jayco, Entegra, Starcraft, and Highland Ridge.
Wow.
Sounds important, right?
I mean, you are super important. They must trust you, Ken.
They do. They should.
Well, I really appreciate you being here with us today. So for those of, I mean, that encompasses a lot. Yep. Tell me, what are you doing today? How do you keep track of all those things?
Well, we're a 55-year-old RV company. We've been building RVs for a really long time. We're a big company, about 3,500 employees.
Wow.
Roundabout. Blessed with a lot of great team. A huge percentage of our team's been here for a really long time. I have the numbers on my desk, but several hundred people with more than 20 years of tenure here. Blessed with an executive team that runs, manufacturing and purchasing and engineering and customer service and product development and sales and finance and admin and IT. So a lot of moving parts. Not on me to keep up track of it all day, every day. Accountable for it, help manage and lead a great team, and that's how we keep moving forward.
So for those of our viewers that don't know you,
yep.
Kind of tell me how you got to this point. Like, where did you start? How long have you been in the industry?
I started on the other side. I started on your guys' side. I started on the dealer.
I mean, isn't that the best part?
It is the best part. I get to do both now, but I started on the dealership side. I was a Marine, a Russian linguist in the Marine Corps of all things.
Wow.
Ended up in the automotive retail business coming out of the Marine Corps. Found my way to RVs on the retail side, being a sales manager and a general sales manager and a GM. Somewhere along the way, got on became a sales rep, a regional sales manager for Monaco Coach.
Okay.
I originally had the Northeast, and that's how I got exposed to this crazy motorhome business that we love so much, and working with Pat Carroll and those kind of guys, industry icons, and moved my family to Elkhart County in 2007 to work for Monaco Coach. And for those of you who know the industry, the timing's impeccable.
Yeah.
Just before
2007,
just before 2008, but pretty quickly after getting to Monaco, got promoted to be the national sales manager of an iconic brand, Holiday Rambler Motorhomes, and loved doing that for several years. And as the industry changed with 08 and 09, made my way to back to the dealer side, and just continued to live in Elkhart County, which is the heart of our industry from a manufacturing perspective, and found my back on the towable side, and then my way to Jayco as the VP of sales and product development for our motorhome group in 2017, 2020. Again, impeccable timing. May or June of 2020, became the president of the company, working alongside Daryl Bontrager, one of our founding family members, and then CEO maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. Kind of lost track of it. So
wow, quite
exposed to both a little bit of everything, a lot of retail experience, maybe about 15 years of retail experience doing that, and some towable experience for a number of years, and then motorhome experience along the way too. So probably a unique bird in our industry with the perspective of everything our industry does. So I'm really lucky to do it, and love doing this.
Well, it's great. I've been lucky enough to work with you probably since like 2016.
I would think 17 or something like that. Yeah.
That was an important year for us,
that was
wasn't it?
Important for all of our relationships. We won't talk about that.
Ken, that's kind of overwhelming. You really do have a lot of experience in the industry. So you've been through a lot of different model year changes, mm-hmm. and so we're coming up on our 24. You've got your 24s out.
Yep.
So what are you most excited for in this year's product lineup that Entegra has brought to the table for 2024?
Yeah, well, we just displayed the proto units in May at our Entegra homecoming, and once again, I think Pat Carroll, our director of product development, knocked the cover off the ball. Pat is so good at paint design. He's so good at decor alongside Kathy, our designer. Again, I think we are blessed with the industry's best development director of all diesel product, and he's got a 40-year history that reflects that, and we have product that reflects his expertise. So really love the way the stuff looks, and of course that's important. We spent so much time and energy and money last year on focusing on the new digital dash and all the technology for Cornerstone, Anthem, and Aspire. A lot of the stuff this year was aesthetic stuff. I think I really love what he did, again, along with Kathy, on the new decor stuff. We had focused so heavily on high gloss stuff, and we kind of went a little more conservative, just stepped it back a bit there. So the feedback has been overwhelming with what people have seen, what's out to the market. But our preview there, we had about 500 owners there at the Elkhart County Fairgrounds in May, and just customer after customer after customer, both first-time buyers and people with multiple coaches. Great feedback on what we did. And with Pat, no surprise, we did introduce a 37-foot Anthem, and that's something that our customers have been asking for
to see that.
for a number of years. And we had a proto model there, and we were changing some storage on the exterior for that unit as we bring it to market, and it's coming. But really proud with what we're doing there. We have competitors that, believe it or not, people want to downsize from 45 foot to a smaller coach as their travel plans change and, as they do other things. So we want to be able to accommodate that too. And we felt like we hadn't put our best foot forward there to be able to give customers a choice in that segment. So really proud of that. Really proud of things like Starlink standard on Cornerstone and Anthem. I think that's important for the people who use these coaches every day. One of the things that I think I'm most proud of, and it's something that Pat's taught us all, is we don't want to be the people who come up with all the ideas. If anybody's been around Entegra for any amount of time for the last 10 years, Pat does his suggestion sessions. And if you ask customers over the last 10 years that have bought multiple coaches, they're just stunned with how much stuff has found its way into coaches, from starting in those suggestion session, model year after model year after model year. Just sat through another one in May, and 4 or 5 more items that you'll see going into the next model year. Way more pantry space, pull out pantries, some things that you don't think that important, but for the people that are in the coaches every day, just critically important.
Yes. And that's one of the things that I have to commend you guys on the most. First of all, there's if you haven't sat through a Pat Carroll customer suggestion session. It's really fun. He makes it, it's very entertaining. Pat has a great sense of humor. But I always love when I'm doing my product videos the following year, when all of a sudden I see one of those things that I heard in one of those suggestion sessions that's now implemented into the coach. So I think you do a really good job of listening to the voice of the customer and then implementing that into your product. So love to see that through the years. I can even there's certain things in your coaches that I can actually go to the customer. I know the customer that suggested that, and they put it in, the Bowers with the little garbage, the flip down sink thing, and I can go through others, but I do love that they do that. So
we take that approach with all of our products, and especially in the Entegra diesel, when you make such an investment, a lot of full-timers in the coach. But again, you take feedback from the customers that use these things, the dealers that are in direct contact with those customers every day. If our product development teams in any segment are coming up with all of the ideas, we're doing it wrong.
Right.
We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Yes, innovation is important. Yes, sometimes first to market is super important. But direct feedback, put it on the coaches that keep people drive these things, use them in the campgrounds, live in them in often cases. That's product development for us.
Right.
And again, Pat does an awesome job of that. So I wasn't surprised as we were in the products through the process of rolling them to market for model year 24, and then hearing the feedback at our event, that really proud with what we're bringing to market again.
Yep, you guys do a great job. Another thing that's kind of very noticeable with an Entegra coach is your sea lighting. And I noticed last year that you made that change in your Entegra coach, your logo. So was that all based off the look of the coach, or can you give us a little? It's
part of the identity of who we are. I think if you've been, again, in a campground, and I've had the pleasure of being at big Entegra events where we have 200-300 coaches, even 50 or 60 coaches at a lot of these smaller events. It's overwhelming to pull up at dusk and see 50 or 60 coaches with those sea lights. So we got a new VP of marketing a couple years ago, and it's one of the things that he thought was really important for what we do is to separate Entegra from the rest of what we do. Yeah, we're proud to be part of the Jayco family of companies, but if you think about just a visual, quick look branding of an Entegra, it is those sea lights more important than the little swish or the circle E,
the classic,
the classic old logo. So really proud of what Trey came up with. We do think it continues to drive us right to the brand, to our DNA. And, again, from an aesthetic standpoint, those sea lights set us apart. Typically front coaches and our front caps on coaches will change every 4 or 5 years because they need refreshed. I have a really hard time imagining that we'll ever change that.
I know.
It kind of identifies who we are.
It does.
And again, direct feedback from the customer, and that's important.
Right. No, I've had lots of customers go, when's it, they've had it for a while. Are they going to change it? And I'm like, I don't know. It's so part of their brand and their look now.
Front cap and rear cap, to be honest with you, when you think Aspire, Anthem, and Cornerstone, I have a really hard time coming up with what's better than that.
It's the best too. When you're driving down the road, like you can
quickly identify
like this.
Yep.
You win the game if you're trying to guess the motorhome first. The other thing I do love, just mentioning, you brought up the 37-foot Anthem.
Yep.
That's going to be huge. So when will those actually start to hit the?
I think we'll see those in production this fall.
Okay.
Nick will probably give you more details. I know you're going to talk to Nick later today as well, but we'll have those to production this fall. I'm excited about that. We've had a number of customers that have stalked me the last 3 or 4 years. Ken, hey, when I'm going to have the opportunity to downsize, we build under 40-foot coach today, but there are customers that want smaller and all the stuff. That's really important from a feature standpoint. So we want to be able to also accommodate those customers. We think it'd be an important segment for us moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a really popular coach, and so looking forward to seeing it and all the changes you've made to it. For 2025, you have trends. Do you know anything exciting that's on the horizon for 2025?
Well, Pat would kill me if I debuted anything early. He's really protective of that next year's model plan. What's amazing is the product development cycle is such a lengthy process. July is the time that we get the model year 25 in the can.
It's amazing.
So he's starting to wrap that up, or he's almost all the way wrapped up for the next model year. He's been here 10 years. I had the benefit and the pleasure of working with him previously. He'll have a bunch of more tricks up his sleeve for sure. Our goal, if we could get everybody trading about every year, it'd be awesome for all of us.
Wouldn't we love that? Yeah. We're lucky enough to have a few customers that like to do that.
Yep.
So right now we've been in a crazy market for the last, with COVID, coming out of COVID. What do you see for the future of the motorhome industry from your perspective?
Well, we think it's a thriving industry. There's a lot of data that suggests that it's going to continue to be an important part of the overall RV industry. You know what? Coming out of COVID, we had unprecedented historic demand. One of the challenges of that unprecedented demand was supply chain issues.
Absolutely.
So we created this backlog of pent-up demand because we were limited on allocation for generators and chassis. And we all heard about all the chip stuff on all things automotive and electronic. Clearly the market's changing, but we continue to think the motorhome business will thrive. We think it's settling in now. And again, it's reduced pretty drastically here over the last 12 months and more normalizing. Carrying costs for dealers are a lot higher than they've ever been, or again, historic high, at least for the last 20 years or so. So a lot of challenges for those customers who do finance, units. Interest rates are high. But we've seen this cycle again. I told you I moved to Elkhart County in 2007, just before 2008. Mm-hmm. And we're certainly not there, but it is challenging today. But our overall outlook, our long-term outlook, our outlook in the next 3 to 5 years is really good. It's an important part of our business. It's a growing part of our business, and we love it.
If If you're an RVer looking to maintain, repair, or enhance your motorhome, take a look at National Indoor RV Centers. With 6 locations nationwide, some open 7 days a week, you'll always get superior quality, convenience, and customer service. Their everything under one roof approach helps simplify RV ownership, giving you access to experts you can trust. Beyond service, NIRVC also has a consignment program, wash and detail, collision repair, storage, and more. NIRVC does it all and does it better. Learn more at nirvc.com.
Tire blowouts can be catastrophic. That's why more and more RVers are installing RettroBand, a revolutionary wheel enhancement specifically designed for RVs. Gone are the days of worrying about a blown tire putting you and your RV at risk. RettroBand looks almost like a donut that sits inside the tire. In the event that that tire bursts or loses a lot of air, the ring prevents the tire rim from making contact with the ground, allowing you to maintain control of the vehicle and get to a safe space. Learn more about getting peace of mind protection at RettroBand.com. Want to get the most out of your RV lifestyle? Join AIM Club. This all-inclusive motorhome club connects you with fellow RV enthusiasts all across the country and guarantees you access to some of the best rallies in amazing locations. Members also get exclusive discounts on many valuable products and services to make RV lifestyle better. Learn more about all the benefits and fun of AIM Club at aimclub.org. At NIRVC, we are all about the RV revolution and what we can do to advance the RV industry. So what projects are you working on at Entegra Jayco that are part of that advancing the RV industry?
Well, we're kind of nonstop. Again, I became the president June of 2020, somewhere in that range, CEO a year and a half ago. And we've kind of been nonstop on the guys that are around me every day get tired of hearing it. We are about quality employee relationships and dealer relationships. And we think if we get that right, it drives everything else. So you get the opportunity to talk to Steve Claude, our VP of Customer Service, what we're doing there from where we've been versus where we are today from an accountability standpoint, from a communication standpoint. We think continue to invest heavily there and continuous improvement in how we communicate with the dealers and provide them what they need from an information and parts standpoint and quick turn on warranty, driving that customer experience. We're doing pre-delivery inspections on everything, motors and towables. On the Entegra diesel stuff, we're actually taking it through an independent pre-delivery inspection, bringing it back to the plant to work those things off. We are still building these things with humans in a cornfield in northern Indiana, not making excuses, but we're not heavily automated. We have lots of automation in regards to the way we cut wood, the way we CNC route things. But these things are built and assembled by human beings here in Middlebury, Indiana. So working really hard on the quality process to drive customer experience. When we get it into your dealer's hands and you guys sell it to our end user customers, working really hard on the customer experience with our customer service team, the way we provide data from consumer apps. We think the industry is going to continue to change and it's, really continue to drive customer experience. Everything we do is people, it's our dealers, and it's the quality of our product. And we're not going to stop talking about it. We're going to talk about the things that we attain and then what's next after that. And that's what drives us every day, because we want your customer, our customers to buy that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10 coaches in some case. And I think if people have an experience, hey, again, the human factor is real. I think you have to have an expectation that this is not true, built by a bunch of robots in Dearborn, Michigan. This is built by human beings in Middlebury, Indiana. But that doesn't mean you have to lower, what you have to have realistic expectations. And then we as a dealer partnership and us as a manufacturer have to be able to support those customers and get them good information. We have great resources of human capital to be able to provide information. We work alongside of you guys every day on moving that forward. And I think that's our focus on making this better for our customers and for your customers. And then together,
Yes, I think the things that you hit on, the quality, the quality checks, and then working together with the dealer, your warranty. You guys still provide, one of the few manufacturers still provides a 2-year warranty
Yep.
on your product. So I think that speaks volume to how you feel the quality is too, that you will keep it under warranty.
We don't claim to be perfect, but we do, and we've deemed it for a very long time to be an important part of our DNA with the 2-year warranty. It's expensive.
Oh yeah.
And when you look at what it costs, because we not only are on the hook for what we do, but for all the components we have in the coach. Often those suppliers provide a 1 year, and we make an agreement for a 2nd-year warranty. But it's an important part of our DNA that we're not going to change. We just do a lot of things in that area. Again, not sitting here claiming to be perfect, but we work hard at it. I am confident to say we work as hard or harder at it than everybody else that we compete with in this segment. I'd like to think you guys feel it from a dealership relationship level, that the way we communicate with Steve Claude and that customer service team, the way we communicate regularly. There's not many days that go by that I don't communicate with you or with Brett, often. So again, an important part of what we do, and we are aligned, and I know we are aligned that this is about the customer.
Yeah.
And for us, it's about our people. And if we get that part right, then it's about the customer and our dealer, and that's what we work at every day.
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. We are trying to deliver an experience to our customers that is unlike any other. They get to see this country and these beautiful coaches basically from the comfort of their home. And you guys are working on quality, which we see back at the dealership. We keep track of all the, when we do our pre-delivery inspection, the defects or the problems that we find, and we find less and less with Entegra coaches, and that just leads to happy customers. And then you guys are there to support us when we do have something we do have to fix. So we really appreciate that, and we love the partnership that we have, and love the friendship that we have as well. Ken, you've been great, and I appreciate your time today. It's been wonderful. So thank you so much for that.
We love being your biggest and best brand.
Yes. He's so much fun. So thank you, Ken, for joining us. If you want to learn more about the topics that we've discussed on the podcast today, please see the links in the podcast episode below. If you've enjoyed this podcast, then help us out. Make sure you tell a friend, write us a good review, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Make sure you join us for our next episode to see which industry expert, icon, or influencer is up next. Until then, class is dismissed, and we'll see you down the road.